Hello guys, welcome here to my channel again, and I'm GM Le here. So today I will trying to give you guys some ideas and also the recap of the Athens Master play-in, the German chess tour. As you may probably know, so 2 days ago, actually like not even 2 days ago, like 1.5 days ago, so the Champion Chess Tour, the season starts. I mean, with a play-in event where 9 rounds of Swiss 10 plus 2 was played. The event consisted of own GMs, and that was a rough event. So at the end of the day, I was placed 69th, you can see it, right? I won't say it is very bad, but I could have done better. So I will explain the things and all the games very soon. So as you may know, so the event was delayed for a while, right? Really for a while. So I think it was scheduled to happen in 11 p.m. Friday my time. But then, the odd thing is that at first I was paired against GM Armand Mikelian, and we got to, I think around like 12 moves. 12 moves. I was basically 5 minutes up on time. I think I was actually on a good prep there. But then the game was cancelled and the event somehow was postponed for like 40 minutes. And after 40 minutes, somehow I got Armand again, which is pretty funny. And let's try to go through the game and see what happened, right? So I will explain through all the games, through the thinking process, and make sure that I will not try to talk like so deeply into the detail, but I will explain like every game possible. To sum up the event, it is a ridiculous day for me, quite unfortunate, but still a lot of fun, and I think I learned a lot from the event. So let's go, right? In the first game, so I got GM Armand Mikelian. We got a game of the London variation. I basically play London every game. I play London every game for white in the event. So here somehow we got our positions here. Okay, when I just follow my openings, you can see here I play pretty fast, right? And I'm not into some big time scrambles. Somehow, like this is what I have played multiple times, so no ideas. Let's see, right? I don't need to spend plenty of time on the clock, and now after move 15, I was already up like around 3 minutes on the clock right now as well. So knife 1 here, I try this one. This is some first serious thought in the game, playing knight e3 and putting pressure on the queen in the game, so he kind of underestimated. So I can play a4, a3, I just play safe, h6 and c4. And then I suddenly got activities in the d5 right away. Now he should not take here, which he did in the game, but I mean even some alternatives can also be quite wrong too. Let's play here for instance, right? We take here, d5 we can like continue c4 and then f5, the queen f3, and I think I can be able to exert some strong pressure in these positions. In the game he taking c4. He just thought that I have no way to exploit the discovery, right? But then I just take knight c4, queen c7, and b5, queen e7, and rook d4 in the game. Taking the knight here, and threatening the pawn here as well. And somehow in the game here, I won fairly smooth. He played knight f6. I take here, rook d8, and rook d1, takes. And the pawn now on a4 is basically on the rush of dropping, and then I will be 2 pawns up. I think the best way here to play for him is like rook d8, but I do play like queen c2 in the game, c2 or queen d1, I don't know. I also plan here as well, queen d1, but this might be wrong, he might be rook b8 here, taking my knight. So I think queen c2 is probably the best one, c2. I can also play queen c4 as well, which I think is also fairly decent. In the game, he played e5 here, looking for counterplay in the center. But during the game, I have included this one all. Takes here, takes and knight c3. My knight in c3 is very well placed. It defend e2, take e4, defend b1, and now he had no counterplay seriously, and that just give me positions where I am 2 pawns up for free. In the game, the conversion went smoothly. Check here, knight b4 win a pawn, and then I play safely to defend against ideas in the king side. Takes, and knight d5. The knight was traded, and the game basically is over. He left for some more moves, but the result is never in doubt. Takes, knight d5, king a3, and the pawn here is in trouble as well. In the game, so rook b1, rook e2, sorry, rook e2, knight g4, steps, and rook b8, and basically, he played this one and he resigned. Illusion is fairly understandable. He is pinned, right? So he needs to accept the rook exchange. The knight d2 is a thing to do here, but then takes, and a5 you can see, right? Now his knight here is basically tied up to defend the pawn, right? And I can just play king f3 in easy way, king f3, e4, and my king just low wicket here, right? Also, my pawn here can be pushed as well, and this is just winning easily. So, the first game, go well, right? First game actually go well here, and then I beat my opponent in a pretty smooth way. So, I expected a decent event for me though. But then, be prepared for some really tough moments, guys. Some next game. As I mentioned earlier, this is just the beginning of a ridiculous day for me. In game 2, I met GM Aram Hakobian here. So somehow we play, I think I would say like not a quick draw, but then an uneventful draw. Somehow, what I can say here is that we play the Slav, go for the exchange, and then we went for this pretty theoretical positions, and I'm just not worse here at all. Queen was traded here, and you know, somehow in the game he found out that it's hard to attacking things here. So he offered me a draw at this point, and I was like, okay, I think for a while I see no clear way to attack my opponents, so I accept the draw. Something says. So 1.5 out of 2. Nothing so serious, right? But now let's be ready for the fun. Obviously, if anybody has some questions or if I'm talking too fast, just remind me so that I can make things slow down a little bit. Game 3. This is the beginning of a very weird day for me though. Game 3, we got paired with GM Alexander Preker, I think from Russia. And the game is pretty odd. I tried it again. And you know, we got into the theoretical line as well. So okay, let's go quickly. Knight d2, queen b1 takes, queen d2. At this point, I already think I'm fine. I got a pretty good buy on e5. I can castles. Bishop here is pretty strong, you know. And his king side somehow looks a bit weak. So I think that is understandable. In the game, he went for the queen side castling. Queen d8 in the game. Except d1, d7, knight a5. Takes with the bishops. Takes, queen c7, knight f3, and he castles. Obviously, if he castles here, let's say this way, right? It will be very dangerous due to like queen e3 here with these ideas. I can play g4, g5 as well. I can also consider like bishop b1 and queen d3, right? Which is also pretty playable. So when castles here, go castles as well. He play f6. He wants to strike in the center, which is also pretty clear. e1, he took here, which surprised me a little bit. I think he need to go for like maybe like f5, g5, but I assume I can just like c4 here as well. Go for my own attack. So in the game, he played here. Took. After some massive exchange, you can see that I can have some, slight edge, right? There's some pressure on e5. My bishop is better than his bishops. And then I can have a strong square in the center. In the game, he plays g5, which is, I think, somehow wrong. So the c4 right away. The best move here, according to the engine, is take here c4. But then you can see here you are left with a position when you need to defend very passively, right? And then can slowly play f3, slowly go here, and it should be fine for me. I think that is why in the game he offered me a pawn instantly. So here, text. And text. And we up a pawn, right? We up on time as well. You may be surprised to know that I will somehow lose this position. Somehow. Here, text, a3, play safe. Bishop b3, rook c1 is not a good thing. I mean, it's not something so dangerous, you know. e7, f3. Get the king out. Should be 3, rook c1, c3, and we are a 3 pawns up, right? You can see on the clock right here that we are nearly, 2 minutes up on time. Here, and here somehow I start choking at this point. I start converting very poorly at this point, you know. g3, perfect. g3 I think is probably a wrong move. I think I can play bishop f5 first, or h1 right away as well. I think the best way now I can think of is like h1, rook here forcing, bishop f5, and king e3. And we're slowly preparing here and here. And the rook here actually is somehow kind of, tied up a little bit. So in the game play g3 here, make my pawn become quite weak. Perfect. Forcing. Bishop f5, I think in the game, but I declined to h5. So somehow he can be able to get rid of his weak pawn. So that's why I play bishop e2 in the game. d8 here, and you can see now, right? This is actually quite not so fun since king e3 can just, allow some kind of thing with d8. By the way, guys, I am doing the recap of the event, so please, do not suggest the sell alert. Let's do that after the recap. So, h5, good question. But here, f5, h5, right? h1, he can take here, and this one. This is the thing. This is the main thing, you know. This is the main thing why I rejected f5. And now my pawn drops, and I think now it is black who can be able to ride, you know. Can be able to ride here. So in the game, I saw things on bishop e2, which is actually good. Rook d8. But now the sad thing is that I need to exchange the rook here, which will make things super hard to win. In fact, king e3 just check here, right? And then I need to go here again and here again. Rook c2, bishop e4, and he can go rook e2 as well. And now rook e2 somehow is suddenly impossible to be stopped, you know. So that's why things here is that I need to go something like rook d1, although I don't really want to. Takes in the game, and king c5, king e3, and here f4. In the game, I went to this one here since I have no choice, you know. But I realized that it is simply impossible to win. Maybe there can be a way to win, but somehow there's no clear way, you know, in the game. I cannot see anything clear here, actually. Somehow you can see it, right? King d4 in the game. So let's take a look. My king have no way to penetrate, right? All this square has been covered. And that is the thing that is very unfortunate. Hey team as well. I am doing the recap, so we'll explain some questions later. So as you can see here, somehow I have no way to penetrate in, right? f5 doesn't looking so clear since we can just play here still. And here play here, you know. And the pawn here basically literally drop. And that's the thing. So that is why that I'm just not able to, right here at all. I see no way. The pawn here is always weak, you know. There must be like cover that at own cost. And here somehow I couldn't be able to win. And then when I realized that in the game, I was very angry with myself. Like, I was so good earlier, I was so fine, and then how can I let him trade the ropes, you know? So I went for some strange ideas here in the game before was play. Takes, bishop here, f5 forcing. I mean, at the end of the day, you have no way to make progress if you don't play that. Here, bishop b5, and once again, sadly, this one allows bishop e2, and my pawn drops. In fact, this one should be nice if he didn't have this move, you know? Here, here, but now the thing is that my pawn is also dropping as well. So I have no chance to, I think, go for the win now. But in the game, I realized that, but I just like stubbornly go for the win. I need to play for that. Well, I made some like, you know, pretty random bishop moves. That's the thing, obviously. And king e3 is like the end of the day. I mean, since his king can go to e5. And now even f6 is impossible to be play. Have no way to play now rather than some voting moves, like bishop f3, whatever. In the game, I made a serious mistakes. I was so angry with me, not able to win earlier, so I want to flag him. And since it's like, you know, +2 increment, this was basically backfired. Use bishop e2, right? And this on the move here, one, and this was just a draw. But then I just, I mean, you see, right? I stubbornly keep on playing. Okay, now you see in the game, things socially fun. Okay, here in the game, here, right? Should be a draw, but then it's what? Suddenly I'm in trouble. The pawn here drops, you know, pawn here drops. In the game, I do plan this one, which looks quite nice, right? Quite nice. Stay here, I got f7, which is winning, but suddenly he can play here. And now the pawn also drops. And suddenly at this point, I am on the rush of losing. King c4 only try, but then he just play bishop e2 here, prevent my king from coming up, right? So in the game here, the pawn, c4, the pawn again as well, f7, and then somehow here, I am losing. See, right? My pawn and g3 drop, and I can just resign in the game. Resign right away as well. So this is the first game of a very ridiculous day. I was winning in portion when we are like a healthy pawn up, and then I allow a rook trade, which make things like, you know, become drawish, right? Drawish. And you know, when it was a draw, I was so pissed with that. So decided to play on, to flag him, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm the one who need to pay up for that. The thing. So game 3. First loss of the event. 1.5 out of 3. The thing. Okay. Game 4. We play with, I think, GM. I forget his name though. I think from Hungary. Okay, let me take a look at this game. Yeah, GM Benjamin Galera from Hungary. And another game, which thing is also very funny. So here in game 4, I was playing black. And we got a very theoretical line of these variations, I think, of the King Xena attack. Okay, nothing so serious. And now we move back to the, I think, slap Queen C2 variation. Now you fight in the game, castles, here. So, I mean, although black is fine, he was a bit passive before in the game, Queen A4. And now, things start to get fun. He thought it out for 2 minutes and he played a very nice move. H3. H3, here. So in the game here, I mean, I think this is the start of the mutual blindness of me. Somehow in the game, it seems like the pawn here drops, right? But his plan is that now this is the thing. And then we will be in big danger here, right? Queen here, and now d5, and then my king will be shattered and things look seriously dangerous. Also, rook e3 can be considered as well, even like here, you know, or like s3 as well too. I think this one can actually win a piece in the e-file. Also, if I play like bishop e4, he can just take here on rook e4, and this one again, and here, you know. And then my king is in trouble, his bishop pair is pretty good. So, knight 7 here is the threat. See, right? This is the threat. But more than that, somehow here in the game, I didn't see his main ideas, which actually is bishop e6. You know, it's the main thing. Bishop e4 play here is wrong due to the fact I can play like take here and the king e7. But in the game I play here, I only saw something like take here, and then I can be able to push on the c file. But then right away and play this move, I slap my head right away. So just play here, and we're losing. And we suddenly is fully losing. Due to the fact that taking here, right, leads to, I mean, a very classic ideas, right? And we can just resign now, happily. So, in a game, I take in c4, and we draw a pawn, right? Oddly enough. This is just the start of the things. So by the way, guys, welcome guys to my stream as well. I am doing recaps of my Champion Chess Tour play-in event, and I will be able to explain on the questions later. I mean, no smart mate, since somehow this square is covered. But now let's say here, for instance, I can give you an example, right? This is not stalemate, this is not a thing, so just take here, you know, and I'm winning for sure. But then he can play here instead. Here he takes, here he takes, and here takes, and every single pieces of my fall due to that's check, right? And that is the thing that we are can resign here. So in the game I place one, need to place one, and I think I went for the best protocol choice, bishop e4. He took here and he win exchange. But it is not clear, since as you can see here, we got a strong buy on d5, right? Bishop b2 actually is pretty weak. So I think I can be able to just keep on pressurizing and force him to convert here a little bit. In fact, in the game, I was close to winning. So he bishop f1, I play here, I come to f7, you see it, right? I just keep on defending. In fact, d5 is always d5 is always considered to be one of the best attempts here for white to win. Keep back the pawn, but open up the bishops. In the game, he just didn't want to do that. So he play some idea like, okay, f4, just c4, return d5, here and here, from here, and create. Once again, d5 here is kind of forcing. Not like forcing, but the best way to win, to be honest. Like here, and then this one, he can force some exchange. In the game, he plays safe. So f5, a5. Suddenly, I can be able to have some counterplay in the queen side, right? d5 here, best move. Takes, take an knight. I saw this one right away in the game, and somehow now I'm up on time, you know, which is a good thing. In the game, so bishop f1, takes, and we win a pawn. Now we're only down a pawn in terms of, you know, the material, right? Rook d1 I can just play like b5, and I see no trouble at all for us. In the game, so rook a1, toop, when you check first, here, toop, and b5. As you can see, right? All of a sudden, it's not clear. Got two pawns here, which may be dangerous passers in the future. In the game, it actually is. Rook g6 here, e7, rook g6 here, so push the knight here, g4, h5, h3, takes, pawn is pushing, e5, takes, and c4. Should d4, b3, see suddenly, right? In the game, I think he fell for my only trick available. Rook c8 here, king e2 is the best way, for sure. Win the game, d7, b2. And he seemed to miss that rook b7 in the game was play. Lost right away to 92. I mean, b1 queen here, and then somehow I am up a knight. You see, right? But then the even more ridiculous thing happened right here. I failed to win now. I failed to win here. King in the king here was in the game. The best way to try here, I think, is the bishop f6. This one, bishop f6. So now bishop here, right? Knight e3, but here, and we win simply. In the game, I play knight e3. He went for the best way available. Boom, takes. And obviously we got the, knight and bishop mid, right? And guys, something to surprise you is that I cannot checkmate my opponent here. The only explanation I can say is that this was played at around, I think, 2 a.m. my time. So I took 50 minutes here. Took 50 moves here, but couldn't checkmate him, which is very strange. I was actually very close to that at some point, you know? You can see that, I am doing well here. I can get him to the right corner. See, right? Somehow here, his king just keep on escaping, which is pretty funny, you know? So here, his king is running around. I can write easily this one, for instance. Here it is. I can show it briefly. You know? This is completely winning. This is why. Okay, here it is. On this one, actually not this one. I think around here, actually, I was so winning at the king h3. Here, so king f3, king h4, right? In the game, king here, and king f3 in the game, king h4 forcing, so bishop e5. And this one, and then, I can slowly trying to do things in this way. But somehow here in the game, I was freaking blind. Somehow I think this is the right corner, you know? So I try to draw the king in this corner, which I can just blame my mutual blindness. So this is the right corner for the mid, but I don't even see that. I can do enough for sure. But somehow I couldn't do things here. Here for instance, I can do things again, right? Let's say here for instance, king h4, so bishop e5 for instance. King h3, knight g5, king here, knight f4, and knight f5, and here, you see, right? Bishop here, and now knight f3, and here, so bishop e7, and the mid actually is very simple. The king here, knight g5, and then he cannot run away. The mid is very close. If you play here as well, let's say king h4 here again. Oops, king h4, king h5, right? King h5, king f4, and knight g5 again as well. And we got two very famous positions here. The bishop stand in the center, and the knights just prevent the king running away. This is GG as well. So I was very blind, and I just played some 50 moves see, right? Very, very strange here. And then you can, I think do it well here, but somehow I have no time. See, right? This one, I have no time enough. This is already moved 40. And yeah, not sure it's a mid, right? It's just mid right here. I have no time. You see here, actually I can mid here at this point right now, but sadly, okay. 50 was over. Yes, and a draw. I was lucky enough to escape with a draw, but still, missing the bishop and knight mid is shame. So, 2 out of 4. Not that bad, but definitely I can do it more, right? We missed some points in the last 2 games. Game 5, we met GM Nesterov from the Russia. So we played London again, and we got actually very good progressions. The recap has been quite long, so we'll just talking things briefly right now. So we got 5 progressions here in the openings, but then he got some pressure on the pawn d4. At this point, I can tell you I was pretty tired and actually tilted. I cannot understand how can I do not checkmate him with bishop and knight. So at this point here, I was already damn tilted. And then I made some bad moves here. Downtime you can see as well, right? Here and here. Click here. Okay. So I will show you some things I'm blind now. Into knight e2 in the game. c2. Here and rook e2. I'm down a pawn, right? But then I have some, ideas here probably that can try and go for. But somehow here, what I can mention is that this point here, okay, h4 I play, cd4. I'm gonna take it right away though. I don't know why I don't do that. Now I realize here I'm having a good attack here. In the game, I don't even go for that. In the game, I play here right away. It's pretty strange. b5. And now, things are funny. Very funny. I can play here, but I miss his ideas. I only think of queen d7 here, defending things, but I miss queen d5. In the game, rook e7, I play right away, but then this one defend everything, and we're losing. So in the game, queen g4. Let's play. b3. I can read 2 here, but now we're dropping like I think 3 pawns, right? And it looks better already. This is also next here and here as well. So in the game, I went all in, takes, but somehow in time scramble, he find the correct defense. Queen c2, and I think the best way to play is like king g3. It's like, you know, he can, if you play here, take here, you know, and then we actually is winning. We are winning here actually, but he can play queen a7, and I actually can resign now. But in a game, I somehow don't even play that. I play king g1, and then instead of here, which I hope him to play, he simply play queen c1, and my pawn drop. And yeah, due to this crap, you know, we lose the game right away, and that's how things is. Two out of 5. Damn. Game 6, we back to our winning streak here. I think we met GM Balaji Dagupati from the USA. So we play Leonard again for white, and then he formed this one thing again. Yes, this is what I always love to see, you know. And this is something people always love to falling for, somehow. So queen c5 here, dropping the bishops. And in this line here, so he just put like here, play here, right? But d5 is the thing that he kind of missed. So in the game, takes here, knight e3, and knight e5. I always got my opponent with this, somehow. So here, e2, Gasos, and we are surely much better now. c5, a3. He had some trouble with his development. For instance, king here, allowed b4, and his bishop is trapped. So in the game, group c8, rook d1, sub c2, rook d2, bishop b3, d5. And here, what surprised me is that my GM opponent here, he pre-moved. And he pre-moved knight e5, which falls into e4. Win a piece. You see, right? So GMs, sometimes we are human after all. This, I think, is the thing I can tell you, you know? So, that's the ideas. In the game, so here, takes, and knight d2. I mean, take here first, and knight d2. And somehow I have 3 mana pieces for the rook. In the game here, c2, takes, here, and c4, and winning the game easily. And somehow here, I mean, I don't know, I mean, he's losing here still, but my GM opponent here, once again, he choked battle, he played 9, rook a6, and I win another rook here as well, you know? That's how things is. Another example here. And we win a free rook here as well. And now we have like 3 pieces for the rook. And this is just GG, right? Okay, so this is already like 32 minutes here for the video. So this is the part 1 of the recap. The part 2 will start very soon. But obviously, hopefully you will enjoy the videos, guys. You know, some tricky games. And obviously, things are very funny. So we'll see you in the part 2 of the event.